What is up, guys? It's your boy Raven here today with the review of the Unified Mindset. I'm gonna review it by being right over there in the small window, and we're gonna have a full screen. It's gonna be the first time when I'm gonna be doing a full screen, and it should be fun, right? So Unified Mind comes out at the beginning of August, right? So this is gonna be a meta-defining set because this is the last set before World Championships, and as the set becomes legal, we have Worlds and we have rotation. So it's really nice to see what the deck consists of and what are the cards, and actually go card by card, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna literally go card by card talking about the cards, and at the end I'm gonna sum up what I think about the whole set. So I think it's gonna be a really long video, so I'm apologizing for that, but the set is big and it is gonna be probably like 1 hour long. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stuff like that, for more Pokemon TCG in general and more news about that. Okay, so I'm gonna go right over here. Bam, there we are. Alright, so this is the screen where I'm gonna review Unified Mind. So you will see all the cards there. I'm gonna try to enlarge them, but I think we don't need to, because you're gonna see all the cards. This is on the website called PokemonCouple.com. I highly recommend the website. Not sponsored, just saying that's the website we're gonna use for this particular review. It's a late night. I forgot to bring anything to drink, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So let's just go. Let's start card by card. Bam. Okay, so as you can see, there's a PokeBeach.com website. I'm just gonna drag it in front of me, and I'm gonna go card by card. So first card that we're gonna say is okay, so August 2nd, right? That's where the set comes out, and also from July 20th to 28th we're gonna have pre-release events, and about pre-release I'm gonna talk a little bit later. I'm gonna do a separate video what to bring there and how to prepare. Alright, so let's go with this beauty. Let's go with Rowlet and Alolan Executor, a card that a lot of people talked about, especially today when it was not maybe revealed but showed that it is definitely in the set. So first, for nothing, literally nothing, that's the first attack, we have Super Grow. Search your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from one of your grass Pokemon and put it on the Pokemon that evolve. To evolve it. If you evolve into a stage 1 Pokemon, you may also search your deck for a stage 2 that evolves from a stage 1 Pokemon and put it on that Pokemon to evolve it again. So basically we evolve into stage 2 like that, right, in an instant, and that is definitely quite interesting attack. It definitely will help in decks like Meganium. I can see that being played. So, or any other like Sceptile GX definitely will utilize it. Any stage 1, I think like Alolan Executor deck might be really good here. This is why we're not gonna have anymore, right? But definitely any stage 2 Pokemon, stage 2 deck will benefit from this card. Of course, grass type deck. Then we have an attack which is 2 grass type, 1 colorless, Hurricane, 150 damage, heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. But I don't think we will be using this attack. I think this is a card that we purely want to use for the first attack. Evolve, put the card on the bench, use Giovanni's Exile to get rid of it, or Super Scoop Up to put it back to our hand. Nothing more. Then we have a Tropical Arrow GX. It's right over here. There we go. It's 3 grass type energies plus, so Tropical Arrow GX, 200 damage, not a bad damage to be quite honest. And this Pokemon has at least 3 extra energies attached to, of course, grass type. Shuffle all energy attached to each of your opponent's Pokemon into their deck. Definitely a nice counter to Reshizard or any other deck that revolves around having a lot of energy, and definitely a nice counter to Pikarom that's ready to go with 6 energies on it. Definitely a nice attack, but getting into those 6 energies, well, in a grass type that might be a huge problem because they don't have really acceleration, right? There's no acceleration at all to add more energies in a turn for that. Of course, retreat cost is 3 and weakness is fire. My rate of the card, I think from 1 to 10, this is definitely a nice 7.5, maybe even 8, because will enable a lot of decks. It will see a lot of play online. IRL, it might put certain decks on the field, but I'm not that sure about that about this game 2, game 3 and certain decks. But definitely has a potential for a tier 2, like maybe lower or middle tier 2 deck. But let's go lower. We got a Yama, Grass, HP is 70, attack is, like, there we go, I'm going to enlarge the card. Yeah, you can see the enlarged card. So we're over here. Tackle 10 damage, cutting wind 20 damage, that's it. But we got the evolution, which is Yanmega, evolves from Yanma. Tackle for double colorless, tackle 50 damage, and TCE Air Slash 100 damage, discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. So definitely a nice attack with the TCE, 100 damage against decks with weakness. I can see that happening, but that's kind of it. Then we have Celebi, nice basic Pokemon with 80 HP only. We got this Time Spiral, devolve one of your opponent's evolved Pokemon by having them shuffle the highest stage of evolution card into their decks. Definitely a pain in the ass if you're playing it against any other stage 1, stage 2 deck. You can really mess up, you can really, put your opponent on the back foot. So it might see some play in what I think Venomoth control deck. I can see that being there. And also Psycho Trip, 20 damage, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Then we got Shrimmage, there we go, we got a nice Shrimmage there. And Poison Powder, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Again, more of a pre-release card than actual, like, tier 1 card. Then we have Sewaddle, Sprout, search your deck for up to 2 Sewaddles and put them onto your bench with attack that deals 10 damage. I'm not that sure about that. Like, I don't know what to think about it. It goes for something. Okay, oh yeah, okay, wait, so there's an evolution, wait. Oh yeah, because, okay, wait, so there's another Sewaddle. So this one can actually go with this one. Okay, so those two guys are gonna go together, right? So we got 2 Sewaddles. There are completely 2 different ones, but the one on the left, so this one can search for the other guy. Okay, and the other guy has Curl of the Leaves. Any damage done to this Pokemon is reduced by 10. Surprise attack, 20 damage. Okay, what do we got with Swadloon? The evolution of it. That's the card. Curl of the Leaves. Any damage done to this Pokemon is reduced by 30. Bug Bite, okay, not bad. And then what about the stage 2? Again, remember that this goes really well with the tag team, right? So what do we have in here? The ability and attack. Ability Tailored Wrap. Your Pokemon take 40. Okay, your grass type Pokemons, so all of them, I'm assuming, take 40 less damage from your opponent's attack. You can't use more than one Tailored Wrap ability at a time. So I'm assuming when someone will be attacking, you can choose if you want to use the ability during their attack or not. Not a bad idea. Then we got Razor Leaf for 70 damage. So I can see this being some kind of a protection for the Pokemon. Okay, it's not as bad as someone would think. Definitely no, I will try to brew it with Rowlet Executor tag team. Then we have Dweeble. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a long video. We have a Dweeble, basic Pokemon, Grass 70, Dicklaws, nothing really special about it. Quite a nice art with a Moltres in the background. That's what I can say about this card. Quite nice art. But we have his evolution, which is Crustle. It's over here. Okay, I'm taking back what I said here. That is a cool art. This looks like a psychopath art, honestly, or someone with like a mental disease or mental something drawing. I love it. I love it. It's not, like me being offensive, but I just love this type of art. So it looks amazing. Shell Armor takes 13 less damage, but we got 1 grass type and double colorless. Fury Cutter, 50 plus damage. Flip 3 coins. If 1 is heads, this attack does an additional 40 damage. If 2 are heads, attack does 80, and if all 3, attack does 150 damage. Okay, so this attack can deal up to 200 damage, which is quite intriguing. Of course, it revolves, coin flipping, so definitely it is more of a risk taker type of deck, and you can play Victini to reflip, right, or to flip again. I can see this. Okay, so I can see this being a nice idea for a deck. Maybe with Pinsir, maybe with some other cards. But just for the art, I want to play this, and the ability and the attack. it can be annoying. Of course, again, getting to those 3 energies is going to be really annoying, because you can either attach a TCE or all 3 energies, which is gonna be super bad. But let's go to Carablast. It's over here. Take down, this Pokemon does 10 damage to itself. Okay, wait, what? So, wait, okay, so this Pokemon only does 10 damage to itself. Okay. Wait, okay, wait, can we... Hustle Belt is not rotating out. So to some degree we might either put it in a Hustle Belt deck, but I don't really think so. Or in a deck that wants you to have some damage. Oh, okay, wait. It deals 20. Alright, so the card says 20, but the translation here does not say that. So I know the translations are not perfect. Like, there's one translation, we're gonna go to it, of Noivern, that says it's gonna be a tickle party, right? Like, you have to tickle your opponent, which is quite funny to me. Okay, so it's 20. So it kind of skipped that part. Okay, not bad. Fungus. So Fungus and Among Us. Among Us is the pre-release card, right? So one of the pre-release cards. So Spore, of course, from Fungus, opponent's active Pokemon is asleep. It's for 1 colorless, so you can use the draw energy here, which is not bad. But we've got here Among Us with Spread Spore. Once during your turn, when you play a Pokemon with a Spore attack from your hand into your play, opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep and poisoned. And the fact that, this is basically colorless card kind of means that a Spore deck might really be something. Definitely it's sparking the idea of a deck. So I'm not gonna say no. For the pre-release, you have to really have a lot of funguses to make it work, right? But in play, really good one. And again, Venom Shock, 2 colorless, 20 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poison, this deck does 70 more damage. So 90 damage for the pre-release, not bad. Then we got Formantis and Lurantis again. Again, Formantis, Sweet Scent, for 1 colorless, heal 30 damage from one of your Pokemon. Not a bad healer. And Leaf Age, 10 damage. But Lurantis, it's what is more important, which is Petal Blizzard, right over here, right? You can see that. Yeah, it's great now, so you can see that clearly. I hope so. Wait, I'm gonna try to enlarge it for you guys even more, but I don't want to mess it up, right? So I really do not want to mess that up even further. Wait, I think I kind of messed it up, didn't I? Yeah, I might have messed it up. Wait, yes, I messed it up, but yeah, there we go. So we are back. So we got Lurantis over here. Quite nice looking card. Honestly, great art. It looks like CGI type of art. I love it. And we got a Petal Blizzard. Does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, which kind of counts the bench. So we have spread deck type. Yeah, we might see a spread here. And is this gonna go with Weezing? It might be at certain point. It is another colorless attack, but then more we got a Soul Slash, 50 damage plus. If this Pokemon has any fire type, wow, it's really fire type energy to it. Attack does an additional 50 damage. So it really works with the idea of a fire type Weezing here. I love it. I really love it. And again, if you want fire type Weezing, we've done this on this YouTube channel, so you might check it out. Alright, let's go with Bounce Sweet. So again, here definitely a nice card to play. Like, I'm gonna go a little bit faster to those that really interest me. So like evolutions and ability Pokemons, because the video is gonna be like 2 hours long if I'm not gonna speed things up. So Steenie, double slap, 30 times damage, flip 2 coins, another coin flipping. I don't like coin flipping, and another colorless. So you can see a lot of colorless attacks again, which means you can actually use Welder with it. So it's quite nice. Like, they are really mixing or trying to put Welder in those decks. Then we have Serena with 140 HP, evolves from Steenie, and with ability of Queen's Reward. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may attach 1 grass type energy from the discard pile to your active Pokemon. And I'm gonna stop here. This is quite interesting. So you remember when I said when we were around Rowlet, right? That you don't really have the engine. Well, we now have something that is almost grass-type Malamar. Almost. It's not the Malamar for a grass-type, but definitely is almost there, because it, it puts the energy from this card pile on an active. But, well, you can actually, think up front what you want to play there, or, you also can play energy switch. Of course, it's stage 2, not stage 1. So there are limitations, right? So it's close to Malamar, but not yet. Not yet, but definitely with Rowlet, you can get it faster than Malamar, which is quite interesting. Then we have a Dhelmise. Wait, I'm just going to come back here. So do you think that we're going to see like a nice 3 of them on the bench played with Rowlet? I think we might see something like that, or definitely an idea like that is not bad. Then we have a Dhelmise with Soothe-Net. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. Okay, it's just, it is what it is. But now, I think the next Pokemon, like, this is my favorite Pokemon, and it looks freaking amazing. Pissed Off Magmar. Oh my goodness, he looks, wow, like I am almost in tears. He looks pissed. He looks like Charizard is getting too much love. I'm gonna destroy you guys. Like he looks like every single PTCG player that hears, oh, another Charizard is gonna get released. We are angry, like, come on, right? Or he looks like every Gyarados player when they see a fire type deck. Let me take this. Just going there. Love the art. I'm glad that we finally have Magmar. It's my favorite Pokemon, and oh my god, like, the art is gorgeous. It's really good. But okay, let's not talk about the art itself. Let's talk about the attack. For 1 fire type, we got a Smoke Bomb, 10 damage. If the defending Pokemon tries to attack during your opponent's next turn, your opponent flips a coin. Quite nice idea. And it's almost like Confusion, but it doesn't really confuse the Pokemon, right? So it doesn't deal 30 damage to itself. But I like it. I like the attack. Then we have Magmorta. Again, really cool art. Volcano in the back. Honestly, I think Unified Minds has really nice art. Definitely a lot better than Unbroken Bonds or the previous sets from Sun and Moon to May. Really, they stepped up in the art and the artists that they've hired. Really amazing art. So let's look, let's look at the attacks. Double Colorless, or in this, it's a fire type, so double fire should be, because Welder is in play. Smoke Bomb, 50 damage. If the defending Pokemon tries to attack during opponent's next turn, your opponent flips a coin. Again, same attack as Magmar bot, 40 more damage. And then we have a Flamethrower, discard an energy from this Pokemon. So, more of a stall type of card, so you can get to something on your bench, but not really like a game-defining card, which is, well, it is what it is, right? But again, he looks like, okay, you can't handle the pressure, just hold my beer, I'm going there. Like, that's how he looks like. I love the Magmar. Aww, like, I know, but I just love that art. Okay, let's go further. We got Numel and we've got Camerupt, and Numel has again Flamethrower for 3 colorless and 1 fire type, and it deals 80 damage with discard energy from this Pokemon. And his evolution, again the same attack, but this time it's called Strong Flare, and it's 150 damage discard to energy from this Pokemon. Tackle for double colorless, 50 damage. Does this Pokemon gonna be good? Not really. I don't think he's gonna see any play. Maybe in pre-release, but that's it. Then we go to fire type GX, which is Heatran over here, and let's just talk about Heatran for a second. 190 HP, so he really gets knocked out fast. With 190 HP, with the current meta, it's not enough to have him on the bench for 2 or 3 turns. But let's look at the ability and let's see if it's really worth it. So it's Burning Road. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon was on the bench and became your active, so kind of like Golisopod, right? You may move any number of fire type energy attached to your Pokemon to this Pokemon. Quite interesting ability, and it's like, you know, almost a little bit different version of the Tapu Koko GX ability, because Tapu Koko had to play the card from a hand. Here you just have to make it an active one. Definitely a nice idea. We've got Explosive Stamp for 2 fire type and 1 colorless. It's 130 damage, not really a huge attack, but I think, you know, what matters is a GX here, which is Heat Bomber. GX 50 times damage. This attack does 50 damage times the amount of fire type energy attached to this Pokemon. So this might find a place in many fire type decks, because with 4 energy it deals 200 damage, with 5 it deals 250, with 6 it deals 300. So definitely, you know, if we're getting in a situation where we are really scared of, you know, losing like Reshizard, or getting, you know, we want our opponent to get 1 prize card less, that is a nice GX to use. Is this going to be used in many fire type decks? I honestly think it might be, like 1 copy might be played just as a tech card, maybe, but again, it's a fire type, and Reshizard, it's powerful on its own, and you want to use the GX there. I think it might shine our Baby Charizard. That's definitely, you know, a deck to shine and to show this card. And baby fire type decks in general that have a lot of energy. Maybe Baby Blacephalon, that's not a bad idea here. But Baby Blacephalon is good on its own, right? So Baby Charizard and maybe baby fire type decks. That's it. Reshizard, I don't know if I would pick it over Reshizard GX attack, honestly, right? I like that one more. But in the tight spots, it might be as a tech card, one copy. Then we have Victini again, almost every single set, even though the art is gorgeous, because it looks beautiful. Again, Victini, come on, like we're getting Victini and Charizard, like those are the cards that are almost, I feel like they're in every single set, and I'm kind of fed up with those two, especially with Charizard. Like, I am fed up with Charizard so much. So Victini, 70 HP, Victory Sign, search your deck for 2 basic energy cards of different types and attach them to your bench Pokemon. A really cool idea if you have Fire plus something. I can definitely see this being maybe used like Vulpix Beacon that was searching for Pokemons, but this time you're searching for energy. Interesting, you know, idea to not play Volcanion but Victini if you're going first. So yeah, for this attack I can see this being played in certain decks that use 2 different types of energies, and one of them is fire. Then we have Litwick, Lampent, and Chandelier, all party. So first Litwick is, again, they're both 60 HP, but this is the first one that we're going to talk about, because the second looks, yeah, looks like a gym. That's a gym promo card, we're getting it normally. First thing is fight a friend, search your deck for a fire type Pokemon, reveal it and put it into your hand. Nice card for search, but I'm not that sure with this attack. Like, we have plenty of cards that use attacks like that, and they're not really used here. Then we have the second one, find a friend, again search your deck for a fire Pokemon, reveal it. Again, the same card, just a different art. So I'm not sure why this one is here, right? It might, no, I know it's a gym promo, so you're gonna have 2 arts of the same card. Kind of weird. Let's see, Lampent, you know, Life Call, 40 damage, but Chandelier, like always Chandelier was what makes those stage 2 cards worth it, right? We've got an amazing Chandelier Dark type that can deal amazing amount of damage. No, it was Dark type. No, sorry, it was Psychic type. My mistake. So let's see here. Soul Barrier, 10 plus damage. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 60 more damage for each Pokemon you discarded. Then put any number of discarded fire Pokemon onto your bench. Quite interesting attack. Definitely, you know, an attack that can deal a lot of damage. But is it worth it to actually go up to stage 2? I don't think it's fast enough. Even though the attack costs only 1 fire type, it kind of, you know, requires you to play a lot of Pokemons in the deck. So definitely an interesting idea. Definitely I know I'm going to try to build around it because it's interesting enough for me. But is this going to be a competitive deck? I don't really think so. We have to have more ways to get into stage 2s. We have to get a lot of more ways. So it might be after November a fantastic card then, right? So for now, something that is maybe not memey, but it's like unique, not really competitive. So that's my take on that card. Let's go Fletchlander and Talonflame. Let's see a Talonflame, because Fletchlander, 20 damage, search your deck for fire type energy and attach it to this Pokemon. Again, you know, he's grabbing the energy. Yeah, I think, you know, Fletchling is going to be in colorless section. Let's go Talonflame. Of course, we got it here. Again, Talonflame Break. Remember, amazing deck. Talonflame Break, not anymore. Heat Wave, 40 damage. The opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. And second attack, Flare Blitz, 100 damage. Discard 1 energy attached to this Pokemon and do 50 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Not a bad idea, but again, a stage 2, right? 1 damage and 50 to a bench with a stage 2. Not really something I'm gonna be keen on. But we kind of see the pattern of hitting a bench, and I'm gonna be honest, Mew is gonna be a quite interesting card to play. Then we have Salant and Salazzle, and there's nothing exciting to say about those two cards. They only have attacks, right? That is it. No abilities, nothing, just attacks. That's it. Then we go to Psyduck Slowpoke, another polarizing GX. Again, definitely with Misty, Lieutenant Sarge, it might be really cool card because of the attack of Tossing Splash, which is 40 damage and 40 more for each card discarded. It's each supporter. That's important. Each supporter discarded this way. So quite interesting with the Pole Pad. It might be a nice combo. And then we have a GX Excitement Time to Water type plus. So it's 10 damage plus. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 100 more damage. If you have at least 6 extra energies attached to this Pokemon, flip 10 coins and do 100 damage for each heads. Great attack, but how in the world are we gonna have 8 energies on this without Aqua Patches? I'm not that sure. I definitely know you can have it with Baby Blastoise, and we see now, because I've tested it today, that Baby Blastoise and Blastoise GX post rotation is a quite interesting deck, and it's still working, still really good, but we might have problems to getting to that GX. So definitely, this is a deck that should be built around the first attack, which is quite nice. And 250 HP, not a bad amount. Then we have a Lapras with Mermaid Call. Once during your turn, you may search your discard pile for Misty's Request. Show it to your opponent and put it into your hand. Great card, Misty's Request. We're going to talk about the card a little bit later. Not a bad card, and not a bad card, Lapras, that goes really well with the Psyduck Slowpoke idea. They have Snorunt, we got Frostholes, and the Frostholes, actually, let's talk about this attack for a second. 20 times damage, put up to 7 damage counters on this Pokemon. This attack does 20 damage times the amount of damage counters you put on this Pokemon, so you can deal up to 140 damage with one attack. But again, Max Potion is getting rotated out, so we're gonna have to find another way to heal it, or actually benefit from him having this amount of damage. Then we have Finneon, Lumineon, Snover, Abomasnow. Really nothing exciting. I've seen those cards before. They are not that exciting. There's nothing really that is unique about them. Really, you know, 70 damage like over here on Abomasnow. If the opponent's active Pokemon has any water type energy attached to it, opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. This is a theme deck card. This is a theme deck card. Nothing more, nothing less. Super bad idea for competitive play. Then we have Coracosta with ability, and we got Old Custom. As long as Pokemon is in play, each of your opponent's Pokemon tool cards has no effect. Great Lysander Lab, and great way to disrupt your opponent. But again, stage 2, so not really worth playing. I would prefer playing Lysander's Lab than wasting 8 to 10 space for this Pokemon in the deck. Let's go to Keldeo. Actually, no, before we're gonna go Caldeo, let's go with Krigonel. With one water type attack, it's Tick-Tock Lock, 10 damage. Your opponent can't play any item cards from their hand during their next turn. Quite interesting for the item lock deck. We might see this card being in a deck like that. But then we got Caldeo GX, and a lot of people are talking that, are telling me that this is a Caldeo that reminds them of Caldeo EX. Well, let's see. Prevent all effects of the attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon, by attacks of your opponent's Pokemon GX and EX. So, does this mean tag team? I would like, of course, tag teams are GXs, but on Persian GX, you actually have the phrase tag team GX, so it's kind of confusing, but I'm gonna assume yes. So, another card that you have to fight with Zapdos when you're playing Pikarom, or you have to have the baby card. They're really nice card, really nice GX. We got a double water and one colorless for Sonic Edge. 110 damage. This attack damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so it goes through. And let's say another Caldeo GX. And then we have a GX attack, Resolute Blade, 50 times damage. This attack does 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So basically this is like baby Lycanroc attack for each of your bench opponent's Pokemon, 50 damage. I think yes. I think for Forbidden Light, that was the one. Then we got Deviper, Aracanid. Again, art is a little bit similar, if not the same, that we had in Forbidden Light. Not really a fan of it. Then we got a Golisopod, a water type Golisopod this time. A quite interesting change. Evolves from Wimpod. And we got Emergency Exit. If this has at least 2 or less energy attached to it, it has no retreat cost, because his attack is water type plus TCE. Basically, first impression, 120 damage. If Pokemon was on the bench and became your active this turn, this attack does 60 more damage. So 180 damage. It kind of enables baby decks for water type. An interesting idea, and this might see a lot of play in any scene. Then we have Tapu Fini and Pyukumuku. Nothing to say, just attacks. Nothing more, nothing less. Then you have Raichu and a Alolan Raichu with a Lightning. And before I'm going to talk about the Raichu, I have my drink there. I'm just going to grab it in a second. So it's going to be like 5 seconds. You can count 5 seconds. Okay, count it. Okay, you've counted? There we go. Okay, I'm back. So I have to went for something to drink, because oh my goodness. We got Raichu and Alolan Raichu, a card that a lot of people are talking about, right? That is going to be played a lot in electric type decks. So I think it's going to be played in many electric type decks. Honestly, I'm not sure. I know I will try to brew it, but I can't really see that. Maybe one copy as attack, but that is it. But let's look at the card itself. It's 260 HP, and its attack is 2 lightning energies, 1 colorless, with a tandem shock. It's 80 plus damage. If this Pokemon was on the bench and became your active, you deal 80 more damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. The paralyzed is what makes the card and attack really good, because in a tight situation, there's no more Guzma, right? And not everyone's gonna play switches or Taytonliza or anything like that. It might be really helpful. You're really, up against the wall, playing against Reshizard. That's a nice attack to have. But that's like Paralyze is the only good way. It has a retreat cost of 2, but with Zeraora it has 0. So definitely a nice way to retreat it. Let's look at the GX. Again, 2 lightning, 1 colorless, lightning right, 150 plus. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. If this Pokemon has at least 2 extra energy, the attack does 100 more damage. So it's 250 with 2 more. It definitely KOs Zoroark Greninja, right? So it's not that bad, but I see it more as a tech card in those specific matchups, not really a main card to build around. or if you're gonna build around it, the deck might look the same as Pikoram deck, but instead of Pikoram, you just play this tag team, which also, you know, it's not a bad idea. I just, you know, think that Pikoram might be a little bit better in the long run, but again, electric type deck will benefit from that. And we have another Pikachu. Actually, we have two Pikachus. They are two different ones, right? Let's look at them both. Of course, the one on the right, like over here, looks a lot better, but we're not talking about the looks, we're talking about what they are doing. So they both have, like, one has 60, one has 70. Feast time, flip a coin. If you get tails, draw a card for each heads. Okay. And second has just, you know, tail whap and lightning bolt, 1050 damage. But what about Alolan Raichu over here? Because there's such a wall of text on that Raichu. What does it do? Well, great question to me. Let me answer. It's Electric Rain for one lightning type energy. Discard as many lightning energy from this Pokemon as you like. For each energy discarded this way, choose one of your opponent's Pokemon and do 30 damage to it. This may enable a bench sniping and a spread deck for electric type one more time, because we're losing Tapu Koko. I quite like it. Honestly, I like it, and I want to do a spread deck with that Raichu. Quite an interesting idea, unique idea, and I would like to see, you know, a way to get a lot of energy on that Raichu, on the deck itself. Of course, you know, I don't remember if we're losing Pachirisu or not, but again, we have to, you know, we have to discard from this Pokemon, so it might be a little bit problematic. Then we have Magnemite, Magneton, and Magnezone. But let's look at the Magnezone. As long as this Pokemon is in play, its type is both electric and metal type. That's quite interesting. So we're gonna have a metal type, but with really weird weakness and resistance, which is fighting and metal type resistance. And Magnet Bolt, 120 damage. Search your deck pile. Search your discard pile for a trainer card, show it to your opponent, and put it into your hand. Okay, nice retrieval of trainer cards. Then you have Joltik, Galvantula, Buzzing Thread, 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That is basically a bench snipe. Let's be honest. It says to one of yours, so I think you can choose the bench, even for benched Pokemon. Yeah. So, oh, okay, wait, apply. All right, so you can apply weakness on a benched Pokemon. That's quite a unique idea here. So, well, spread decks are coming back. Let's be honest, Mew is going to be a card you have to have in almost every deck. Great. Then we have Tynamo, and Electric, and Electros. Let's talk about Electros, because this is, you know, the Pokemon with ability. Another stage 2. I don't like that we have tons of stage 2s that is going to be really hard to get to, and they might be not as fast as the tag teams. If this Pokemon is in your hand and you have 4 lightning energy in play, you may use this ability. Put this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench. If you do, you may move as many lightning energy from your Pokemon to this Pokemon as you like, and the attack is 130 damage during your opponent's next turn. I think Pokemon can't retreat. Definitely a Pokemon used for the ability, so you can slap it on the board and have, you know, a nice attacker. Probably, you know, it might work with Galvantula, or what I think more will work with Raichu over there. We got Stunfisk, Thunderous, Tapu Koko again, another Tapu Koko with Electro Ball and Nature Dive. I won't say Divide. Dive. It is 100 plus damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is an Ultra Beast. This attack does 100 more damage. Of course, there are not a lot of Ultra Beast decks anymore. There are some, right? We got a Buzzmosa, we got certain, but, you know, not to the point of this being in play all the time. But as a tech card for the Ultra Beast matchups, why not? I can see this. Then we got a Zerka and that's an Ultra Beast. Speaking of Ultra Beasts, 3 mirrors, 30 plus damage. If your opponent has exactly 3 prize cards remaining, this attack does 90 more damage. That's really specific, and we're confusing opponent's Pokemon with 50 when we deal 50 damage. Wow. nothing exciting here. So you see, like, there are specific cards that are really good and they're really bad. Let's go to Psychic type. Let's just, you know, how much more do we have? And look at that list. Holy moly, what a list. Okay. Mew and Mewtwo Tag Team GX. I don't think it needs any introduction at this point. So I'm just gonna say this. Amazing card, probably 99.9% of the decks. Fantastic, one of the best cards in the set, period. Like, there is so much talks about that card, you know, we know a lot about that card that I don't want to, you know, spend 20 minutes just talking how good it is. It's basically, you know, Marshadow GX, but better and a Psychic type. Definitely in a Pikarom deck, I can see that. Psychic type weakness, definitely, you know, puts it on the, maybe not worse, but on the bad side of things. But we got Jirachi GX that will neglect the weakness, so it's fantastic. And again, the fact that you can use the other Pokemon's attack, amazing. Psychic type Pikarom, come on. Then you have Espeon and Deoxys. Again, I reviewed this card in the past, so I'm not gonna like sit down for a long time. We have Cross Divide, it's an Espeon GX, a GX attack, and we got a Psycho Sarkos, blah blah blah. It's almost midnight. Psycho Circle, 10 plus damage, this attack does 30 more damage, times the amount of psychic Pokemon on your bench. Not a bad attack, but I don't think it's that worth it. Maybe with Jirachi GX on the bench, it might be quite interesting, but that is it, really. Then we have Executor, Alan Marowak. I just look at, you know, the abilities, because there's so many cards to cover. Weird Stance of Jinx. Once in your turn, you may move a damage counter from one of your Pokemon to another. Quite nice with Spirit Bomb. I can see this being there. Why not? Why not? Chipper Pick. Once in your turn, you may flip a coin. If heads, choose one card from an opponent's hand without looking. Reveals that card and shuffles it into a deck. Yeah, just like a funny Mimi type of deck, that's it. Then you have Latios GX with Power Blind. You have 4 or less Pokemon in play. This Pokemon can't attack. Interesting card, not really like competitive play during opponent's turn. This Pokemon can't be damaged by attacks from a tag team, but against, again, tag team decks, really good, but that's only it. And again, you have to build up, so I can see this being in a Malamar deck or anything that can accelerate the energy. Not really, because you can't do it with TCE, right? Right. Then the man, the myth, the Jirachi, the legend. Again, another set, another Jirachi, and another great Jirachi, which is quite a thing. Your Psychic type Pokemons have no weakness. Bam, drop a mic. I can stop the video right there. Amazing card for Psychic type. It's gonna be meta defining. Sorry, but it is going to be, and it's, yeah, it's just that good. Let's go to Drifblim right over here. We've got once in your turn, you may switch your active tag team. You see, like, that's my problem, because on one hand, they are referring to Tag Team GX as tag teams, and on one hand, certain Pokemons, you know, are preventing damage from GXs. So is Tag Team GX the same as GX? I mean, really, like, no, Persian has Tag Team GX, GX, and EX, for example. That's the wording. So this is freaking confusing, honestly. And of course, when the set's gonna come out, I think, you know, Tag Team GX is gonna be the same thing as GX. But the fact that they're making, you know, those distinctions, and it's confusing. Of course, here it makes sense, because, you know, you got tag team and it only revolves around the tag teams, and, you know, you can switch them, it's fine. But when you're referring one card, second card, third card to a tag team, then refer to it everywhere. So if, you know, you prevent them from GXs, also say tag team GXs, right? Because if you treat them as separate things, keep them separately. So you have GXs, tag team GX, and EXs. Okay, that's, you know, what I would like to see, and we have that in the Persian GX for our November set from Remix Bout, there is a distinction of Tag Team GX, GX, and EX. Right, okay. And not a bad idea, actually, for the ability. I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead for the Giratina over here. That looks fantastic. With Dimension Talent, when you play this Pokemon from your hand on your bench during your turn, you may discard a special energy from your opponent's Pokemon. So this is basically an enhanced ammo in a Pokemon. Quite interesting. Love it. Really do love that. Psychic types are really getting a boost, right? Like they are really getting a boost. And if you know, if you're 45 minutes into this video, congratulations. I love you. And yeah, if you're if you're that far, the code is Omaha, and if you're gonna tell this code tomorrow, so it's 4th of August, no, 4th of July, on stream, I'm gonna give you a code, right? So Omaha, that's the code. And remind me that I said that, because it's really late. Alright, let's come back to the video. Honedge, Doublade, Egg Slash. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an opponent attack, put it into your hand. Not bad, but it's a stage 2, so I'm not a fan of it. Definitely, you can see I'm not a fan of those stage 2 Pokemons. Again, Necrozma, a pre-release promo. Wait, did I miss? Wait, am I? Whoa, wait. Am I missing Giratina? Oh no, Giratina is okay. It's a Dragon type. No, my mistake. That is a Dragon type Pokemon. So let's go to Aerodactyl GX over here. A nice GX. Aerodactyl, 210 HP. Ability: as long as Pokemon is active, this attacks of your opponent's basic Pokemon cost 1 color less more. Definitely a nice counter to tag teams. But the tag teams, fuel so much and they have so much energy on themselves no matter what, that it doesn't matter in the long run, right? But against babies, that might be huge. Then we have Rock Smash, 120 damage, and GX for 1 fighting, 50 times damage attack does 50 damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Really cool idea, and this actually can one-hit KO Reshizard that is fully loaded with the energy, right? Or a Pikarom, so definitely a nice counter to those decks, and I think that is the reason why Pikarom decks are gonna attack Mew and Mewtwo. Cards like that. They have Heracross, Breloom, Medichomp. Nothing really specific here. Another Gabite Garchomp. Garchomp, of course, interesting art. Sun in the background. With Counter Aura, if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, Pokemon, this attack does 80 more damage, and 80 plus damage, you may discard an energy. So on top of 200 damage, still you can deal when you're behind and you have to discard the energy. Riolu, Lucario, your tag team Pokemon takes 20 less damage. Quite interesting for the fighting type decks. Definitely I can see this being in Marshadow, Machamp tag team environment, right? With a dojo. Quite an interesting idea. Let's go to a dark type. Over here I've got Umbreon, Darkrai, another, and we've also got Mega Sibla and Trainer. I talked about those cards so many times. Really good cards. Definitely they will see some play, maybe less than Zoro Ninja, but nice cards to see the play. Nothing more, nothing less. I know this is just exhaustion talking, I'm sorry, but that's all I can say. I've talked about those cards so many times. They're really good, and the Greed Crash, definitely interesting with energy switches for Zoro Ninja, right? Umbreon, Darkrai. For a Black Lance, I can see this being a thing, because again, you're sniping something on your opponent's bench. Let's go to a Weevil GX. This is one of the more exciting cards for the Zoro Ninja deck, for example, or any other Dark type deck, because as often as you like during your turn, you may move a basic Dark type energy from one of your Pokemon into play to another. So this goes really well with Mega Sableye and Tyranitar, because if you play Darkrai, Prism. If you play Naganadel, Baby One, you have a ton of energy on board, so you can move it however you want. Really neat idea. And with our Ninja, we have Incineroar on the bench. It's just fantastic. Yveltal, Mole GX. I did not talk about that GX. Captivating Wink. What do we have in here? When you play Pokemon from your hand on your bench, you may have your opponents reveal their hand, put a number of basic Pokemon you find there onto your opponent's bench. Okay, so it's kind of like a dark invitation, if you ask me, from Dusk Noir, right? And we got a Hustle Bite, 10 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so it deals up to 15. Yeah, it deals up to, wait, no, 150 damage because it's 15. And Big Eater, your opponent reveals their hand card, all support cards you find there. Really interesting GX, but is it gonna be used? I don't really think so. Fairy type, only 3 cards, so we don't really care about a fairy type. Of course, we got a Whimsicott for a search out. When you play a Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for one card. Then you have Garchomp Giratina, fantastic card. Definitely a card worth checking out, worth playing. Linear attack, 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Nice bench snipe, early bench snipe for 1 core or less. Really nice attack. Definitely puts the speed out there. And we got a Calamity Edge, 160 damage if your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on this, 80 more damage. So if you damage your, let's say, Rishazard, this will deal 220 damage. So definitely a nice idea here. Let's see what else do we have here. Dragonite, stage 2. Once during your turn, you may attach water energy and lighting energy from your hand in any way you like. Dragonite GX, again another stage 2, right? Dragon Claw and Sky Judgment. Like Sky Judgment can work with 2 TCE and 270, but again the work towards the stage 2 is quite high. Naganadel GX, once during your turn ability, of course I'm reading, you may discard an Ultra Beast card from your hand and draw 3 cards. Not a bad idea for an Ultra Beast deck here. Again, I've reviewed that card many times. Venom Shot, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, 170 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Again, another bench sniping that you can deal. Quite interesting attack, and definitely Mew is going to be a card that has to be in your deck. Now let's see another Tauros, Hot Hoot Hoot. Colorless are not really like the most interesting cards. Instead of Noivern, or did I miss Noivern? Noivern, wait, what was it? A Dragon type? Let me find Noivern, because I might have missed it. And I don't want to. Noivern. Oh yeah, there he is. Okay, so I missed it. So this wording here: Dragon Pulse, 120 damage. Discard the top card from your deck. And we tried, like during the stream, we tried to translate this, but we couldn't. So the translation on the website says, "Then tickle your opponent." Tickle your opponent. And then we tried to translate it with many tools, but we were just unable to, because again, I don't have the Chinese or Japanese keyboard. It was hard, like something about eyebrows. It was just bad. So let's assume that we're not tickling the opponent, but if we do, that's gonna be quite interesting. But let's go to supporter side, and that's gonna be a nice finish after an hour, because wow, that was a long game. So we start with Blaine's Quiz Show. I love that card. It's such a funny card that I want to play it. I just want to have a meme deck with that card. Put a Pokemon from your hand face down in front of you and tell your opponent one of its attack's names. Your opponent guess the name of that Pokemon. Reveal that Pokemon. If your opponent guessed right, they draw 4 cards. If your opponent guessed wrong, you draw 4 cards. Return the Pokemon to your hand. Imagine this in a Lost March deck or a Cut a Day deck. I mean, this is gonna be fantastic, and it's gonna be a meme deck, right? Really meme deck. Then we have a Blizzard Town right over here, and each Pokemon in play with 40 or less remaining HP can't attack. So this is a really good counter to Spirit Bomb decks or any deck that revolves around Hustle Belt, or they won't have low HP to begin with, or when you attack your opponent's Pokemon and you miss by that 10 damage, because it happens, you miss by that 10, well, they can't attack because there's no max potion anymore, and you're like, yes, oh, you can't attack with your Rash Zond, and you're happy, like, yeah. And then they play, oh, they can't play a Field Blower, but then they play, you know, another stadium, and you're like, no, and you're sad. But again, great stadium. I think it will find its place in certain decks, definitely. Then you have Blues Tactics, quite interesting card. That effect works at the end of your turns, right? So when the turn is over, you draw cards until you have 8 cards in your hand. So it's very specific, but the fact that you draw up to 8 cards might be worth it to some. Like, for example, let's say Pikarom, like you finish with like 1 card in your hand, you know, you just want to attack, so you just play it, you attack, and you have 8 cards to start your next turn. So it's like a preparation for the next turn, and really nice, probably especially during our first or second turn in a game. Quite an interesting card, definitely will see a lot of play. We have a Bug Catcher, right, there we go. Draw 2 cards, flip a coin, if heads, draw 2 more cards. So maybe not Kahili, but definitely close to it. Not a good supporter. Revolves around, you know, flipping a coin. Honestly, not seeing him to be in play. Then we have Channeler actually. Remove all effects of attacks on your on you and your Pokemon. Does this mean damage? All effects of attacks, so that means damage, right? So it might be a brand new max potion to some degree, because damage is an effect of the attack. Or we're talking about like confusion, poison, burn, paralyze. Again, not a bad card. I can see this being played in 1 or 2 decks. Not really a standard compatibility, but the card that's gonna be in every single standard deck. Bam, 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 Charge Ball. Search for a GX and just put it in play. Because again, we're losing a lot of balls. I know how it sounds. We're losing balls. We're losing balls on the left, on the right, on the middle. We lose Nest Ball. We lose Great Ball, Pokeball, Timer Ball. We lose the balls. So we have the brand new one, which is Charge Ball. But you can only search for the GX revealed and put it into your hand. That's important. You put the GX into your hand. Then we got a Coach Trainer. Not a bad idea here. A nice Pikarom over there behind that. Draw 2 cards if your active Pokemon attacked him. Draw 2 more cards, so draw 4. Will it see a play? Not really. I would still rather play Lily instead of this, or Erika's Hospitality. Then we have a Dark City, and this is a card that is basically Zera Aura for Dark type decks, and mark my word, this is gonna be played like crazy in the Dark type decks. Basically, your Dark type Pokemons have no retreat cost. I talked about this card so much that I know I just have it imprinted in my head. Tier 1. Honestly, this card itself will make Zoroark Greninja deck upper tier 2 or lower tier 1. I believe upper tier 2, because this is just fantastic. Ear Ringing Bell, there we go, nice Ear Ringing Bell. Attach a Pokemon tool for, of your Pokemon that doesn't already have a Pokemon tool. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and it's damaged by an opponent's attack, the attacking Pokemon is now confused. Quite interesting if you really want to be annoying to your opponent. I can see this being in like Venomoth deck, or any other deck that revolves around just annoying your opponent or stalling the deck or stalling the game towards certain attacks. Then we have Flying Z, Air Slash. Finally we have a Z move, have an additional GX, and there was a lot of talk about that card. I'm going to put it over here because it goes nicely with the baby decks, but can this actually be that good with 180 GX? I'm not that sure. Of course, when you use the GX, you prevent all attacks, including damage done to the Pokemon. I spit on the monitor, sorry. During your opponent's next turn. Quite interesting GX, but the requirement is that your opponent, that your Pokemon has to have air slash in attacks. So is it gonna be worth it? I mean, definitely a nice addition to baby decks. Definitely will see some play, but it falls short, and it actually wants your opponent to play Lysander's Lap even more. Then we have a Giant Bomb. I reviewed that card when it was revealed first. Pokemon Tool, attach it. If this card, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and takes 180 or more damage from an opponent's attack, put 10 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. This might see a play instead of spell deck. This is going to be a spell tax for other decks, basically, right? For those tag team matchups. So you're gonna have to be careful how you attack. You have to think about your attacks, not to go over 180, or be prepared for your next turn. So definitely quite an interesting card, and it's gonna be a spell tag for the other decks, definitely. Then we have Giant Hearth. I thought that's an oven. Yeah, I'm gonna call it Oven because that's the name I'm more familiar with, and that's the name we all know the card by. So it's a Giant Oven, or here Giant Hearth. Once each player's turn, that player may discard a card from their hand. If they do, search their deck for 2 Fire-type energies, reveal them, put them into their hand. So there's a nice engine to search for 2 Fire-type energies if you're short on energies, and it's a stadium, right? So you're not discarding 2 cards to play Fury Flint. Not a bad idea, not a bad combo to Baby Blacephalon, not a bad combo for Welder, actually, when you need those 2 energies for a Welder. Then you have a Great Potion, heal 50 damage from active GX. Not a bad idea. We have a Grimsley, weird looking fella. Move up to 3 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one. Might work in a spread deck, but that's kind of about it. Maybe with Lieutenant Sarge when you can move up to 6 damage counters, but I'm not that sure. Like, it's really specific. Then we have Hapu over here, a nice Hapu. A little bit pissed, and the art looks bad. Honestly, the art looks bad. They could have done it better. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck. Put 2 of them into your hand. Interesting effect. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't think I'm gonna use it. There are other cards that are a lot better. Then we have a Karate Belt. There we go. We get Hasselblad, so we get a Karate. And if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent's this attack, the attacks of Pokemon this card is attached to cost 1 fire type less. Great card for fire type decks that use a lot of energy. Definitely will see some play in the baby decks over here. Then we've got Misty's Favor. I talked about it at the beginning. And search your deck up to 3 supporter cards and put them into your hand. This goes with Psyduck perfectly. This is basically made for a Psyduck. It's just perfect. It is perfect for that deck, and it's gonna be amazing with it because basically, you're guaranteed doing at least 150 damage with the Psyduck tag team. Then we have Normalium Z. They're kind of the same principle as with the previous one, but this time we have 200 damage plus flipping a coin for 40 additional one, so you can actually okay, until you get Tail, so you can actually knock out any tag team with it. Not a bad idea, and giving baby deck this power is quite intriguing. This will definitely see some play. Then you have Pokemaniac. Search your deck. There it is. That's a Pokemaniac. Search your deck up to 3 Pokemon with 4 retreat cost and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck. Basically, you're searching for tag teams. Pokemon Research Lab. Oh, that is just meant to be for so many cards. Once during each player's turn, that player might search their deck for up to 2 cards that evolve from unidentified fossil and play them onto their bench. Then that player shuffles their deck and their turn ends. Great card, just made for that. But then we have Reset Stamp. Sorry, but almost every deck will play 2-3. I would even say placed of Reset Stamps. One-sided end, right? Your opponent shuffles their hand, then your opponent draws a card for each remaining prize card. reversed and one-sided and amazing card. That is a tier 1 card right over there. You have a Slumbering Forest. Flip, there we go. Flip 2 coins instead of 1. Your Pokemon, for a sleep Pokemon between turns. So again, if we're playing with sleep, that's a great idea. Stadium now, flip 2 coins for each head, search for a stadium. Really specific if you're stadium heavy, that's it. Or maybe as a counter to Prism Stadiums. Tag switch, move to energy from one of your tag team Pokemon to another one. Not a bad idea to actually have it in tag team decks, right? Unidentified fossils. U-turn board. The retreat cost of the Pokemon discard attached to is 1 less, so it's actually a skateboard, but if this card would be discarded, it goes back to your hand, so this will definitely, you know, will be a brand new escape board in play. So escape board, sorry, you have to go, this is a brand new one. Recycle energy and weakness guard energy. That is the energy, weakness guard, that will enable us to play Celebusaur, because Celebusaur without weakness policy is just bad. With this, it actually will enable us to play it, and really good energy for any baby deck as well. Let's go to secret rares, because there's one secret rare in the set that made me cry when I saw that. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. I mean, I really hope you're ready, because secret rares, I know they do not look bad, they are there, but in the set officially, my goodness, we're gonna have, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Viridian Forest secret rare officially in the set. Even now I have tears. Freaking finally we're gonna have secret race stadium. I mean, it's not Brooklet Hill, but I mean, oh my goodness, I'm in tears even now. I've waited so long for this, and now after half a year, more than half a year, 8 months, we have secret rare stadiums. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Finally, I mean, it's too late to apologize, but we finally have the secret rare stadiums. Oh my goodness, it's too late for Brooklet Hill, but Viridian Forest, that is secret rare that's gonna go everywhere. Every single deck will have it. So guys, what I think about that set, what I think about Unified Minds, definitely a set that will change the meta. I'm not gonna say forever, because the rotation will do it, but this is a set to really have to be focused if you're a competitive player. This is a set to look forward to, and there's so many good singles from that set that I would say it's worth actually going to pre-release more than one time, opening boxes, opening Elite Trainer boxes just to get those cards, especially like Secret Rare Viridian Forest, but trying to get those other cards, because I don't want to lie to you, and singles are going to be expensive, especially for the first 4 weeks, 2 weeks before set release and 2 weeks after set releases. So if you're if you're interested in singles, wait those 4 weeks, right? If you're not, just go for it and then flip it if you want to make a profit. Set is not bad, like it's really something that was not on my radar for the past month, and now I'm excited for the set. I'm also excited for the pre-release. So out of 0 to 10, I'm gonna give it 8. I kind of just spoiled that, but it's midnight. 8 out of 10, that's my review of the set, and the set is great. The set will definitely define the meta to a certain degree, but also rotation will do it as well. So combining rotation with this set makes this really interesting World Championships, and makes really interesting standard environment for future Pokemon Leagues, for future Pokemon League Challenges, League Cups, and anything that is yet to come. So thank you so much for thinking throughout this whole review, and then remember, there's this password somewhere that I've put that you can redeem the codes because of. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more reviews, and see you guys tomorrow on stream. Thank you guys so much. Raven loves ya.